Hey everyone, welcome back to TBM Sports. Let's get it. Let's talk some baseball on this short getaway day. We have 7 games in the MLB. I'll give you my August 14th, the Thursday best bets. Kind of talk about what I'm doing. Also, we're going to take a dive into the futures outlook as we will dive into the postseason picture. All right, so we'll look at the MLB in that sense. Also, guys, we are very, very, very close. And what I mean by that is this is where the time was set for my fantasy football draft, okay? Can't wait. The weeks are getting shorter, and that's kind of where the college football and the NFL season is this close to kicking off. The preseason's not cutting it, simply put. So we're going to be kind of shifting gears a little bit, doing some new stuff here on the channel. I appreciate all of my subscribers and all of you guys that watch me each and every single day. We'll talk about kind of what we have going on, but if you have not done so, guys, by now, make sure you hit that like button. I'm talking 3-0 fastball. You got a green light, bases loaded, and absolutely clear those bases with that like button, and make sure you subscribe down below. Okay, so let's get into the action. We are going to take a dive into the postseason picture real quick. If we do look at this, guys, a couple of trends that I've been noticing, and I went kind of light the last couple days. All right, I had one of the most unfortunate bad breaks, something I had going on personally within the Dodgers. They're kind of, 3 in a row to the Angels. I mean, keep that in mind. This is something where you look at the Dodgers, when they score 5 runs, they got to figure out that back end, okay? And, if the Dodgers score 5 runs against anyone, you got to think they got a very good shot to win the game. And statistically, you get to that 5-6 run threshold in the MLB, very, very often those games result in wins, okay? So statistically speaking, your win percentage goes up quite a bit once you hit that 5-run, 6-run level, okay? But nonetheless, let's get into kind of what I wanted to talk about real quickly before we run the board, okay? The Guardians are making a move, okay? Looking at the wild card, 1 game back from the wild card, despite Dolan's best efforts to trash that team before he runs into that estate problem. The Tigers, they've kind of receded a little bit as we look at kind of where we've been on with them, looking at kind of their last 10. They have that firm lead, 6.5 games up on the AL Central, but it is worth noting that the Guardians, they've been playing some good baseball, okay? Next, I want to share with you guys what we've been seeing. The Toronto Blue Jays look like they have a firm lead on the AL East, and I really don't know who's going to win the AL in terms of the World Series, who's going to take home that pennant and punch their ticket to the World Series, okay? Kind of have to lean towards the Astros a little bit, right? The Mariners solidified their lineup. I trust their rotation probably more than a lot of others, but it's just simply one of those kind of years where it seems like it's basically the Dodgers, Padres, and everyone else. And we'll talk about kind of where I'm at within some of those numbers, and you got to can't ignore the Brewers, and that's probably the most intriguing thing outside of just kind of how the AL kind of goes. I think that you have a log jam at the top. There's no clear front runner, so it is kind of one of those years where it's why not us for a lot of franchises out there. All right, but as we look in the NL, okay, the workhorses, right? The Braves are having a letdown season. I took a little futures play on the Marlins, 25-1 to make the postseason. They're 6 games back of the wild card, a little bit of a skid, but it seems like the Marlins, the White Sox, the Athletics, they all caught fire for a little bit, but still kind of reverting back to the mean when we talk about where they're at overall. But the team that has been the most impressive is the 76-44 Milwaukee Brewers, okay? The one thing I will say, though, for my money, though, is the Padres. That was a team way back when, if we did like them, okay, to win that NL West after they had kind of a lull, but they're healthy. They made some moves. Maybe the best bullpen in major leagues, okay? And that's going to go a long way in the postseason as they do have that stranglehold right now as it stands. And, it's just kind of where you look at the matchups, right? Don't really mind me taking Milwaukee in the futures market. They're still very much undervalued in my personal opinion. Just quite frankly, don't know who's going to come out of the AL. So if you are playing exactas in the futures market, I think that you look into kind of the odds and where the value is. You're going to have to look for it. Some Rangers, Brewers maybe. Also the Astros, Brewers. I mean, it's just kind of a logjam. And it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out, okay? And this has been kind of one of those fluky years where we don't quite frankly get that too often. So I felt relevant to kind of talk about kind of where these teams are stacking up within division and the wild card leading up till today, okay? Back into it, let's get into Outlier. This is my preferred choice to talk about the best numbers available, props, statistics, trends, betting insights. If you aren't using Outlier, I do feel that you are at a disadvantage. It is a paid service. Keep that in mind. There are two different levels. So even at the cheapest level, it still gives you great access. And with my link down below in the description, you will get a 7-day free trial. So try it out for 7 days. If you don't like it, hate it, cancel it, no questions asked. But especially when we are running baseball, football, and basketball, they all run concurrently, even hockey. Just simply put, the best insights out there in the market, my preferred choice when it comes to all that. So make sure you check out Outlier. Links are down below. Now, the first game that we are going to talk about is the Mariners and the, the Baltimore Orioles, okay? Looking at the betting splits, overwhelmingly amount of the support on the Mariners as they have lost last night. Close one, I believe. But as we talk about kind of where the Mariners are, they did win 7 straight before then, okay? Yesterday, we had some rain kind of throwing off the rhythms of these starting pitchers. They're, as I talk about it, they're kind of routine, getting ready to make their starts. The Orioles put up 9 hits. They won 4-3 yesterday. The Mariners on a bounce back today is something worth talking about. And this is one where, guys, if we want to look into kind of why they are a minus 130 favorite, well, they're on the road. And anytime you get the Mariners outside of their home field, it just simply is a different handicap, okay? We do get Evans going against Shigano. This is one that could be an under as well. 9.5, a little bit too high, but the Mariners on a bounce back, I think, is the correct side. So minus 130 for the Mariners would be a lean, no official play. All right, the Cubs. This is the next game we're going to talk about, going against the Blue Jays. And for me, guys, this is one where you could look into the run line. I agree with the betting splits. Minus 1.5 for the Cubbies at plus 150. Definitely the kind of side I'd want to be on. All right, the Blue Jays, I know that they've been on an impressive run as they have won 6 of their last 10 games straight up. This is a great spot for the Cubs, and we'll talk about Matthew Boyd going, the lefty for Chicago. After he's had kind of a dud performance, he's always followed that up with a goose egg. So Matthew Boyd, if you want to go under his earned runs, I think he does shut the door on the Blue Jays, despite their efforts offensively have been very much at a plus, okay? And I think that's kind of where the Blue Jays have the odds. Being at home, I don't agree with the handicap. Personally, I'd have the Chicago Cubs a little bit closer to minus 120, minus 125. We may see this number move. The Cubs won yesterday. Keep that in mind as they took down the Blue Jays 4-1. So I think the under 8.5 is in play, and my official best bet will be the Cubs on the money line at a minus 110 price. Okay, basically even money almost with a little bit of juice. Not going to get involved with the run line, but if you did want to play a split, a half unit on the Cubs, Chicago minus 1.5, you get some great value. Even or if your book offers minus 1 for the Cubs outright, that's just another way you can do it. So Cubs money line minus 110 will be my first official play. Guardians hosting the Marlins. This has been an interesting series as we have seen a little bit of a bounce back for both of these teams. Okay, Cleveland's won 7 of their last 10. Jose Ramirez, I think he may not be human. Okay, very, very good season for that switch hitter there in Cleveland. And I think maybe in the history of the MLB, we always talk about contracts and Jose Canseco. I'm sorry, not Jose Canseco. Bobby Bonilla, and kind of how some of these deals have been player friendly in terms of how they do their pay structure. I think it is worth noting that you can't leave Jose Ramirez out as probably the most team-friendly contract in the history of all sports, okay? From a production standpoint, you even want to compare him to the deal Lindor got from the Mets. Very fascinating to see kind of that contract that they kind of tied him down with, but class guy, plus player. And I think that's something where you look into him wanting to stay in Cleveland, even them going after his little brother. It just really tipped my cap to sometimes when you get those feel-good stories. And he will get paid. I'd love to see him get a ring. It's an outstanding career he's had in the Mount Rushmore for Cleveland Indians all-time players. Keep that in mind. And that's just, that's enough being said as you look at some of those Hall of Famers, okay? okay? And probably my Mount Rushmore for the Cleveland Indians. I'd probably, this is a tough one, okay, because there's a lot of players that were there for a short stint. I don't really know what to do with Manny Ramirez, but you definitely have to have Bob Feller up there. You definitely have Jim Thome in the works. And then I'd probably go Jose Ramirez, and, you know, you got a fair argument within the likes of, you know, Sandy Alomar, player, coach, all that good stuff. You know, you could even talk Charlie Nagy. You even get down the road talking about Omar Vizquel, Kenny Lofton, and some old timers as you look back into the pastime of baseball for that fourth spot. But, you know, leave a comment down below. Who would be your fourth Mount Rushmore head outside of Jose, Jim Thome, and Bob Feller, okay? But this game, this one is one that I would lean towards the over as well. We do get the likes of Cabrera and Tanner Beebe going on the bump. This game, I see some runs once more, okay? The Marlins took care of business. The Marlins have scored 8 runs or more in 8 of their last 10 games, and looking at the Guardians, it's been 6 of their last 10, okay? So lean towards the over. If I was going to bet this game outright, I probably would back the plus 120 Miami Marlins. Just like them, okay? And I've been kind of in a funk picking games where I think, okay, we're going to get a lot of runs. I favor the Marlins, and just picking the over or the team straight up, it seems like one of them hits, not both, okay? And I've been getting kind of stuck in that handicap a little bit, so staying out of the double dips, but we do like Miami at plus 120 in this game. That's kind of where I would go to, as they won yesterday, looking to make it 2 straight. But also, I do have a lean towards that over 7.5. Probably my stronger play, but it will not be one that makes my card for today's contest, all right? The Phillies and the Nationals, okay? This has kind of been an interesting look at the Phillies as they did play the Reds. They dropped 2 straight games of the Reds yesterday. They got absolutely bamboozled, okay? So I look for them to return serve. Phillies team total, as they do face Lord. Jesus Luzardo is going for the Phillies. The over 8.5 does look a little attractive, as well as the Nationals have scored 9 runs or more in their last 3 games straight. But the Phillies minus 205 on the money line, not going to get involved. It's run line for Phillies, or the Phillies team total is how I would approach this game, but no official play. Braves and Mets, this will be my second official play of the day, and this will be my second and final play of the day. Only 2 plays today in the market. All right, we're going to be playing the over, okay, between the Braves and the Mets. We get Elder going against Kodai Senga, and for me, guys, when I look at this game, the Mets, absolutely abysmal yesterday, as we talked about David Peterson and his start, okay, and then the Braves, they scored I believe it was a 9-run fourth, okay, and a little bad beat for me, as I did have a small bet on the Mets first 5 money line. They had a 6-0 lead, and next thing you know, I flashed back on the game, switched games, and I'm looking at David Peterson in the dugout, throwing his glove and pouting, and the Braves put up a grand slam. They, you know, I think he walked 3 guys, gave up 3 hits, and they yanked them in the 4th. And the Braves subsequently won that game, as we talk about it, 11-6. Okay, despite the Mets out hitting the Braves. You know, I look for a bounce back here for the Mets, but I think this is a game where the over 8.5 is the best way to approach it. The Mets have scored 9 runs or more in 7 of their last 10 games, 4 straight, and the same goes for the Braves, as it has been a 6 of their last 10 run and 3 of their last 4. So the over 8.5 is my best bet in the Braves Mets, okay? Next game, Detroit in Minnesota. We do get the likes of Tarek Skubal going against Bailey O'Bear. Great pitching matchup. The Twins have been kind of surprising, okay? This is one where I have noticed something with the Twins. They score early, okay? So the Twins, kind of looking at the box scores and how they get their runs, they played them early, okay? So if you do like first 3s, first 5s, if Skubal wasn't pitching, I would be firmly involved with this, but this is a divisional game. Looking for the Twins, maybe the over 1.5 at plus money in that first 5 innings. That's something that you could get turned on to, as they are at home. But for me, guys, in this game, you gotta love Skubal. It's just kind of unbettable at a minus 210 price. So for me, it's going to be Tigers run line at minus 125 or nothing. But the Tigers have failed to win by minus 1.5 in 8 of their last 10 games. So this will be a pass. No odds or edge available in this matchup. All right. And then the final game on the card, Diamondbacks and Rockies. Okay. Game where we see the total set at 12 at Coors Field. We look at this between Rodriguez and Blaylock. runs. Okay, I do think the Diamondbacks have a very strong chance of hitting their team total. Same thing goes for the Rockies. I think this is a coin flip game on who actually wins, as we do look at kind of what happened yesterday. And the Rockies took down the Cardinals 6-5, and the Diamondbacks, I believe they were not in action yesterday, or they did get rained out. Not sure on that one, but nonetheless, this is a game where I see runs. Okay, so the 12 is a big number. I'm not going to ever lay a 12, but this number is set at 12 for a reason. So the over 12 is what is attractive to me. And outside of that, there will be no official play. Minus 110 would be just a lean on the over 12, but I'm not going to get involved. Okay, so that about wrap it up. Those are my best bets. That is my rundown of the entire card. Please keep in mind, though, my best bets are my best bets. All right, the leans, I talked about each and every single game, but the recap I do at the end of the video, those are the ones for tracking purposes that are actually my best bets. And for today's action, that is where we're going to lend towards the over 8.5 between the Braves and the Mets at a minus 115 price. And also the second play of the day will be the Cubs minus 110 on the money line. All right, appreciate you guys. As always, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all in the next video. Good luck on your picks. Cheers.